Today we are live from Road America for the site of race number 20 on the regular season for the NASCAR Cup Series on our final season of the NASCAR 21 Ignition season. It's the Jockey Made in America 250 at Road America, 62 laps around this 4-mile road course, the third road course race of the season on this NASCAR 21 Ignition season. It's going to be an interesting one here today. Ryan Blaney has won the first two road course races of the year. Or I should say two of the three road course races of the year, including the last two at both COTA and Sonoma. We'll see if he can get it done again today at Road America. Qualifying about to begin for today's race. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, everybody, as we are getting set for today's action. This is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. I have not played NASCAR 21 Ignition in a long time, but it is going to be, I think, a fun get-go. The road course is typically some of the better racing on this game, and I do think we're going to have ourselves a pretty fun one today. A very unique set of circumstances today with racing at Road America, of course, as always. We have the stability help on for the 750 racetracks on both the ovals and the road course, so that will be the setup for today's race. Gonna go with the loose setup for qualifying, at least. Might be a little on the edgier side. Round one. Of course, this is the qualifying format prior to this season, so in 2021, the road course qualifying format was pretty simple. Top 12 make it into session number 2. 25 minutes total time to try and put that quick time down in session 1 for session number 2. Blaney coming in hot. I haven't played this game in a while. The brakes felt mushy compared to NASCAR 05. Alright, I'll get used to it. This is my warm-up lap. 2 laps is what Blaney will try to run in this session. What is going on, Keegan? I'm just coming in there way too hot. I'll figure it out eventually. Just gotta give me time. The last time we have done a race on the channel on NASCAR 21 Ignition, it has been a while, to say the least. I tried to do this race about a month ago, and I couldn't do it. I just got to get my braking zones down. I'm braking just a little too late. Billy Cardroy, Jerry Fasnab, Patrick Ellison, Billy Kramer, and others, welcome to the stream. A little better in the middle portion of the racetrack. Of course, the NASCAR Cup Series in real life was at Road America yesterday, so fitting that we are running this race this afternoon. Well, really evening time and nighttime. Happy 4th of July to everybody out there today as well. Hopefully you're having a good 4th of July weekend, Independence Day weekend. No stream yesterday because I was at the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race. Got home a lot later than what I thought I was going to due to traffic circumstances. I actually didn't get to watch any of the Road America race from the comfort of my own house. I kind of glanced over, was listening to it all the way home from the racetrack. It was the end of stage 2 before I actually got out onto the road following the racetrack. That's how long I was in the parking lot for after the race. Those that might have watched the IndyCar race on NBC yesterday would know that it got done just before 3 o'clock, and I wasn't out of there until the end of stage 2 in the Cup race, which was probably close to about 5. I got in my car right away, too. It wasn't like I lollygagged getting back, because I wanted to try to get back to my house as much time as possible left in the race. And that just wasn't the case. So congratulations to Tyler Reddick for getting his first career Cup Series win. Beating the road course ringer Chase Elliott himself. Not a great first lap with Ryan Blaney going a bit wide in both turns 1 and 2. Those were the only 2 corners he messed up. A lot better through turn 1 on lap 2 of qualifying. Again, top 12 advanced to the next round. Blaney with the Dex Imaging paint scheme for today's race. Ran really good on the road courses so far this season. We mentioned he's won the last 2. At the Daytona road course, didn't have a great finish, but he actually won stage 1 in that race as well. I'll be interested to see what the pit strategy will be like in this race. I'm going to do a pit strategy which I'm surprised nobody tried to do yesterday, and that is going to be a 2-stop strategy. We're going to take it all the way to the end of stage 1, then we'll start stage 2. Pit early into that stage. so I can stay out when stage 3 starts and make my pit stop as soon as the window opens to make it to the end of the race from there. All for track position purposes. You don't know how the cautions can play out. We don't seemingly get a lot of cautions on road courses in this game. So who knows, the stage breaks might be the only time we see yellows in today's race. This is not the update, no. Oh, and Blaney going to go a little bit wide. That's going to cost him time in the carousel. And now he's going to have to go into the kink a little bit harder this time. Trying to pick up a little bit more time. Into the Canada corner. Just up ahead, a few turns left to go. Blaney made a big mistake in the carousel, and it's going to be tough for him to get top 12 on this qualifying lap. He is pushing extremely hard, barely keeping the car on the racetrack, using all the curbing on the inside and the outside as possible. Back to the gas ASAP, off the final corner and up the hill back to the start-finish line. Will he be in round number 2? Round 2 is going to be 10 minutes for the 12 drivers. A 2-minute 14.442 second lap time for Ryan Blaney, and we will see if he is in the top 12. And he is not. 16th quickest for Blaney after that mistake in the carousel. Just enough to cost him a shot at the top 12. It was just 0.6 of a second behind Bell. I'm not surprised that that mistake was the 0.6 of a second difference. So William Byron will be fastest in session number 1. And it looks like we're going to advance to the race next, as qualifying is complete for ourselves and our driver Ryan Blaney. R6, Joshua Rumsey, welcome into the stream as well.
I'm Alex Hayden, welcoming you to Road America for the first time in the NASCAR Cup Series. This road course is one of the most popular on the Xfinity Series schedule and offers the drivers some significant elevation changes and a chance for them to showcase their speed down the long straightaways. Wisconsin loves their NASCAR, and this race should live up to the expectations of these amazing fans. Teams are ready, the drivers are gridded. Now let's head trackside to get those engines fired.
What better way than to finish off this 4th of July weekend than racing at a racetrack, even if it's virtually, that has the name America in it. Road America, and we are set for, again, the Jockey Made in America 400. I think the setup is going to be good enough for the race. Not going to make, well, I'm going to make sure actually that the setup is still the same from qualifying, because I don't know if it really saves in this game. I feel like it varies from track to track for whatever reason because of how bad this game is. But nonetheless, looks like it is all good to go. We are about to get this race ready to roll. And you're at Road America NASCAR Ignition 2 on your Xbox. Awesome, man. Race says Michael McDowell. Maybe you'll have a shot to win. It's a good road course racer. Had a top 10 yesterday. Yeah, I'll figure out a trivia question. I haven't gotten a chance to look it up yet. I've pretty much been gone most of the day today. I'll get into that in a little bit. Green flag is going to be in the air, and we are underway at Road America. Might be a stack-up going into the first corner. Ryan Blaney checking up right now, trying to make sure he isn't going to get in harm's way at all, fighting for the bottom. He got out of the gas early in turn 1 to drop in line behind Cole Custer. I forgot there's no rearview mirror in this game. I was like, why is the rearview mirror not on? Oh my goodness, it's been a while. I forgot that's a thing in this game. So used to NASCAR 06. Have to use this look-back cam a little more often. I was trying to figure out where everybody was in turn 1 when I was trying to fight for the bottom. Big stack up in turn 5 in that single file line. Look at Ryan Blaney on the inside, challenging way down low underneath the 17 of Buescher. And he actually completed 3 passes to move up to 12th. And he'll make the pass on Buescher in turn 6. Squeezes by him, stays up on the racetrack and on the curbing with the 2 left side tires. It's not cutting the corner. As long as you get 2 tires up on the curbing, and again, there are penalties in this game too, so you don't want to cut the corner for that reason. Ryan Blaney's going to fight hard after a poor qualifying effort. He wants a shot to win Stage 1. Stage 1, only 14 laps. Being very, very patient right now in the carousel. That was the mistake in the qualifying lap. Gasses it up, clears Daniel Suarez in the 99. And as they enter towards the kink, big run for Blaney, but doesn't want to go side by side in that area of the racetrack and waits to pass the 48 of Alex Bowman. Couple cars pulling out of line looking to make a pass. The 48 of Bowman faked a block. Blaney thought better of it and just decided to stay behind. 6 spots gained, though, on the opening lap for Ryan Blaney. I don't think he's complaining. Trying to find a way to get around the 48 car. I think turn 1 might be the next opportunity at that. Nope, maybe the final corner. Will he be able to beat Bowman back to the gas? He's going to slide a bit wide. Bowman's off the curb. He gets a bit sideways. Blaney's going to try to stay away from him in the side draft as they go up this major hill, and Blaney's clear. Bowman bounced off the curb a little too aggressively, and Blaney from 16th to 9th on the opening lap. Hard into turn 1 goes the 12. Trying to pick up as much time as possible, and the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. up in front of him. Blaney fighting for the regular season points championship lead. He's barely in the top 10 in points right now, but feels confident. 3 road courses left in the regular season. He's been good on the road courses this year. A good chance to pick up points today, and then also at Watkins Glen and Indianapolis. As well as some playoff points along the way if he can win any of the stages or those races. Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Hamlin out of line, the 42 of Chastain underneath him. Side by side for position, that is for 5th place. He's trying to find a way around Truex. He's going to try to outbrake him in turn 7. He's on the inside. But Truex on the outside is going to be able to beat Blaney back to the gas. Into the carousel they go, side by side. Blaney looking to the outside intentionally this time on the 19. Who is holding the bottom off the exit of the corner. Truex goes a bit wide. Blaney got into the back of him. Loosened him up just enough, and accidental bump and run there into the kink. Blaney coming in hot, slowed it up in time to keep it off the 11 of Hamlin in front of him. 14 laps might not seem like a long time, but around Road America, which is, again, a 4-mile racetrack, it is quite a bit of time. Hamlin gets passed by Blaney in the Canada corner for 7th. Couple spots up for grabs in front of the 12 right now. Chastain, DiBenedetto, and Cindric. 2 Fords and a Chevrolet in front of the Ford Mustang of Blaney. Cannot make a pass there. Chastain gets a great drive off. Blaney trying to get a little bit more draft. Here comes Hamlin and the 11 down to the bottom. Blaney with a block at the start-finish line. Now he's going to go back wide to make sure he's going to be able to arc it off into turn 1. Big dive into the first turn, late into the downshifts is the 12 of Blaney trying to power to the inside of Chastain but can't get around him. Yeah, no fuel gauge in this game either, unfortunately. No fuel gauge or tire gauge, as well as no rear view mirror. I'll do what I can. I do have the fuel somewhere. Somewhere in Google Docs, I have a sheet. It's been a while since I played this game, so it's probably a few pages away. Blaney's coming in hot into turn 5. He uses up Chastain, but he's going to pass him. That was definitely an aggressive move on an aggressive driver. Maybe that was the best way to get around him. Blaney will make the pass. Great corner through turns 6 and 7. And into 8. Blaney looks low under DiBenedetto. Going to try to make a clean pass on an affiliated teammate. Can't get around him there. DiBenedetto slides just a bit. And blocks the 12 of Blaney. into the carousel. Up off the exit of the corner, Blaney shoots to the bottom, clear. Easily wins the race back to the gas off the exit of the carousel, and now into the kink they go. Blaney closes in on the 33 of Cindric. Looks to the outside of the 33 car. This is a battle for fourth. Oh, contact! Dangerous area of the racetrack right there to make contact. One of the fastest areas on the track. And Blaney will get through. Kyle Larson leads after Byron qualified on the pole. Larson did qualify outside front row and probably was able to get around Byron on the initial start. Blaney's going to have to push hard if he's going to want a shot to win this stage. I think he's got the speed to do it, but that lack of track position after a mediocre qualifying effort definitely costed him. Oh man, sorry about that. I felt that coming up. I didn't have a chance to mute the mic. Give me a second. I'll be back. Clean up aisle 3. Oh, jeez. We're good. We're good. Sorry if I blew anybody's ears out there. Perfect Express, welcome to the stream. Happy 4th of July to you too. Jeez. Well, while I paused it, I might as well look up what the fuel limit is here. Means I didn't have that pulled up when the race started, which probably would have been a wise decision to find that. My allergies haven't been too great today, by the way. So I'm not feeling stuffy, but I've been sneezing a lot today. I went to the Tigers game also. They played Cleveland. The Guardians actually won 4-1 too. They're playing a doubleheader. I think they started the second game a little bit ago, 6:40. All right, I'm trying to find it. Like I said, it's been a while since I've played this game. No, that's not it. NASCAR 21. There it is. Alright, now I gotta find Road America. 13 to 14 laps on fuel. Okay, so it's a lot less than the... That's one thing, too. I forgot that the fuel gauge on this is a lot less than what it is in real life at most tracks. Not all of them. Santiago Kid, Brian Gallant, welcome to the stream. Race break sponsored by KRC. Yeah, there you go. Alright. Let's get back in it. So 13 to 14 laps is all the further anybody could go on field. That's very interesting. That means it is going to be right on the edge of the window to make it on field to the end of each stage today for stage 1 and stage 2. So we'll see if these guys can save enough fuel potentially to make it to the end. If it is going to be that close. So it looks like this is going to be more than a 2-stop strategy than today. Probably going to be a 3-stop race. Gonna have to pit during the stage breaks and then pit at some point during stage 3. Hopefully we can make it to the end of stage 1. If not, that will be problematic, especially with Blaney trying to get some stage points today. I'm definitely not going to short pit the stages if I don't have to. I will gladly take the playoff points. Trying a little bit different line, going really hard on entry into the carousel, backing it up in the middle and kind of diamonding the corner off. He is definitely closing in on Tyler Reddick in third, who coincidentally won yesterday's race in real life at Road America, running good in the early going of this one today. Blaney's closing on him though. Into the Canada corner. Blaney charges hard, looks slow, but he's too far back to make the pass on Reddick that time. Blaney, low, in the final corner, going to get around Reddick. Not that far behind William Byron for second now as well. Blaney's going to try to break the draft from Reddick behind him. Surprised I didn't let go of the controller. I paused it right before I sneezed though, so... I tried to sneeze away from the mic as much as I could. The mic's on my right side and I sneezed to my left. But I still had my earpiece in, so you guys probably still heard it. Loud and clear. Usually I'm able to mute the mic in time. That snuck up on me. 2 minute 12.693 lap time, that last lap for Blaney. That was even with him making a pass on Reddick in that final corner. He's coming in hot on the curbing. We saw that be an issue for the Cup drivers in real life yesterday. And Blaney nearly went off into the sand that time. Used a lot of that excess pavement. It definitely went wide, but he kept it on the racetrack as much as he could. And he actually didn't really lose much time, but definitely had a lack of grip in the braking zone there. Kyle Larson is absolutely pulled away right now in the early going of this race, and he looks like he's going to be the guy to beat today. If I remember correctly, I don't think he has won a race yet this season, but he's in the thick of the battle with Joey Logano for the regular season championship as of right now. And I believe we have 10 different winners so far on the year, so 6 playoff spots still open. I believe that is the case. I'll check again after this race, or I'll actually check again during the stage break. Just because it's been so long since we played this game. I'm going to try to play this game a little more consistently, like once or twice a week, just so I can get the season done before the NASCAR 22 update, because I will want to do a season with that. This is the last season for NASCAR 21 Ignition, but with the 22, no NASCAR game coming out in 2022, I do want to, play a game with this year's roster and schedule. So if I have to pay for the update, then I'll, do that. Hopefully it at least acts as if it's a different game too. But by the way, somebody mentioned if this was the patch update. This is not the patch update, the current one at least, because I was not able to update that with being gone most of the day yesterday, most of the day today. My 2 days off of work this weekend. Yeah, 12th place, not bad. I think he got some stage points too. I could be wrong on that. Blaney got around Byron last lap for second place. Lap before he got around Reddick for position. Can't see Kyle Larson anywhere right now. And we only have 9 laps to go. About 8.5 laps left as of right now in this stage. Blaney is going to have to put together some really fast lap times if he's going to want to catch Larson. Those last 2 laps he ran were both in the 2 minute 12.6 second lap ranges. Last lap not as quick as the one before that, but obviously as the tire wear starts to fade over the course of this run, it's going to be interesting. Again, it's 13 to 14 laps on a full tank of fuel in this game at Road America, so that's also going to put in a fuel strategy type of race, especially in Stage 1 and Stage 2, with them both being 14 laps. Pit road closes with 2 laps to go in the stage as well, when the leader hits the start-finish line with 2 to go in the stage, so you don't want to get penalized there for having to pit on the last lap if you start to run out of gas. And also in this game, you run out of gas, you're pretty much screwed. Now, obviously, the stage break would bring out a caution. You could save yourself a pit there, but you're probably going to lose a lap or 2, even on this long road course. And you're definitely not going to be able to make it up that gigantic hill to pit road if you're having to coast it as well. So if you run out of gas pretty much at any point in this track, good luck coasting it all the way back to the start-finish line. It's going to be very interesting. Blaney wants those stage points, and he wants those playoff points. Not knowing where Logano's at right now, and Logano being the points leader, this could be a good race for Blaney to try and catch up. He's over 100 points back right now, but again, 3 road course races in these final 7 races of the regular season. I think there's a shot. It's a far cry one, but he still has a shot at the regular season championship. That last lap was the quickest for Ryan Blaney today. 2 minutes, 11 seconds, .113. That was over a tenth and a half faster. Actually, over a second and a half faster than his previous fastest lap, and that's because he didn't have any traffic and any cars to pass that last lap. He's got a lot of clean air in front of him, at least until he catches the 5. It's such a big road course, I don't think Larson's going to catch any lap traffic, so it's going to be tough for him to even slow down to the end of this stage. Blaney keeps putting laps together like that, though. Maybe he'll find him before the end. I wouldn't doubt it, at least. Rod G, welcome into the stream. Nathan Elliott, I see you down there as well. I don't think I've had Sargento cheese. I just saw Larson making turn 8 as Blaney was in 7. So he's a handful of seconds ahead of him yet, but I do think Blaney's going to have a shot to get to him. Kind of similar to, I think it was Coda. Blaney had to run down Bell in stage 2, who was on a different pit strategy and older tires. It's a different circumstance in the sense that it's just mediocre qualifying effort from Blaney's part. I like how I messed those first 2 corners up in qualifying, and ever since then I've been fine. Race has been so far so good for Ryan Blaney. Hitting his marks really well. Almost got back in the gas too soon there. Had to lift off the exit of the corner just to keep the car from wanting to shoot out into the grass. Yeah, the Larson's still quite a ways ahead yet, but at least he is within sight of the 12 car, and I wonder if Larson's able to see the 12 out of his rearview mirror at all as well. Mark DeMars, welcome to the stream. Great corner in turn 1 for Blaney. Got a little loose on the curbing trying to get back into the gas, though. Saw that out of Bowman earlier in the race when they were battling for 9th on that opening lap. 29 viewers currently watching on this 4th of July evening. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Only 6 subscribers away from 2.4 thousand coming into today's stream. Probably would have gotten there if I would have been able to do live commentary for yesterday's Cup race. For those of you that do watch on the regular basis was wondering why I did not do it, that's because I was at the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race yesterday. I'll have that vlog / race highlights out as soon as possible. I got home a lot later yesterday than what I thought I was going to, so I was not able to edit that nor stream this stream last night. So again, kind of apologize for that. I also apologize for the predictions video not uploading. I uploaded it, or went to upload it yesterday morning before I left for the racetrack, and when I left, I guess the upload didn't actually upload. It said it failed, but I didn't know that until I got back home later that night, and I saw it didn't upload. So I don't know what the issue was there. I've never had that happen to me before. Even when I go to racetracks, like on the road, I'll be at the hotel and I'll upload it as I'm going to the track because my laptop stays at the hotel. I was just like, here, my laptop stayed at my house, in the sense that I was only an hour and a half away from the track. So I came back home after the race. I didn't have to stay in a hotel overnight. And by the time I got home with traffic and everything, it was almost 7 o'clock. And I found out that it didn't upload. So I uploaded it after the race. So sorry about that. Which is actually a shame because the predictions were really good. So it would have helped you guys out for fantasy a little more. So I'm sorry for that. But nonetheless, at least we're live streaming next week's Cup race. Or I will be. Atlanta on the Super Speedway. That'll be a lot of fun. 2:12.476 that last lap. Any lap in the 2:12s are really, really good. Actually 9 laps into the run already, too. Blaney hasn't slowed down much since the start of the race, even on older tires. Yeah, definitely catching Larson. Well, how much fuel is the 12th burning trying to get through the traffic after qualifying 16th compared to Larson, who qualified on the front row? Blaney's still pushing hard. He wants to get to him. Now this game, the crew chief does indicate to you when you're low on fuel, but sometimes it's not always accurate. Sometimes he does that like after a restart. Sometimes he does it like 5 laps into the run. And sometimes it is, somewhat accurate where you're towards the end of the run and he mentions it. So it'll be interesting to see if Blaney's crew chief is going to, which at this time period was Todd Gordon, considering this was last year's game. We'll see if Todd Gordon is going to radio into Ryan Blaney at all. His fuel gauge situation, because we'll have 5 laps to go in stage 1 this time by. Hopefully the 12 hasn't burned the tires off the car just trying to get to the 5 of Larson. He's closing fast though. Making Byron at Atlanta. He did win there earlier. Good super speedway racer. Blaney is definitely catching Larson. I think he's going to have a great shot to get around him on the next lap. Maybe have a shot in turn 1. I think he's too far back into this final corner to make a move on him this time. He's probably too far back. Larson got a good drive off. Blaney caught him just enough that he was having to deal with a little bit of dirty air for the first time in a while, and Blaney couldn't power back into the gas quite as quickly that time. 5 laps to go, stage 1. Rocketing down into turn 1 is Blaney, late on the downshifts. Trying to beat the 5 of Larson back to the throttle, not going to happen. Usually the car that drives it in harder can't quite get back to the gas as soon as the other car that he drove in harder than. Into the corner. Larson's starting to hold his own. Kind of a little bit of a bubble effect right now that the 12 has caught the 5. If he could stay close enough to him on one of these longer straightaways and try to use the draft and then pull on a line and make the pass that way, that's probably going to be his best opportunity. Nice little battle here for the Stage 1 win at Road America. Kyle Larson battling for the regular season championship, and Blaney trying to catch up to his teammate who leads the regular season points of Joey Logano. If he can stay close to him through the carousel and into the kink, I think that's going to be the best chance for Blaney is going to get around Larson. It's probably going to be off the exit of the kink as they head down into the can of the corner. Again, that smoke is just a terrible visual effect, I guess, with this game. Whenever I'm less than 100 miles per hour, does that have the short tracks a lot, too. Larson did not get off of the carousel very well. Into the kink. Larson's going to let him go. Smart move by the 5. They were never going to make it side by side in this corner. And Ryan Blaney will take over the race lead. Larson saving his stuff for a little bit later. And Blaney's going to try to drive away with 4 laps to go, this time by in stage number 1. Three different races on 3 channels in one day. Oh, you watched the F1 race, I'm guessing, earlier in the day? I watched the highlights of that race, and that looked like, at least based off the highlights, one of the best F1 races I think I might have ever seen without actually seeing the full race. That battle for 2nd and 3rd for those podium spots to those final 10 laps is insane. That looked like a NASCAR race. You had 5 guys under a blanket battling for 2nd at one point with 10 laps to go. That's what I would love to see. I know they have a new car this year. I haven't watched any F1 races this season. How much different, maybe the racing is this year compared to the last few years when I've tried to watch a few races. That was crazy. Especially when you see stuff like that with open wheel racing where it's even more dangerous. That's just insane. But I think it makes it that much more entertaining too when they're able to do that. Terrible crash on lap 1 at the start of the race. Glad everybody was alright with that. That was definitely a scary wreck. Flip into the catch fence. Turn 1. The way that car toppled over, it was kind of a similar way that Bobby Labonte flipped in the, the 2001 EA Sports 500 at Talladega? where he kind of like got turned on the right rear and just toppled over when the roof flaps never really came open. Obviously, there's no roof flaps on an F1 car, but that's kind of what it looked like. Kind of got clipped on the rear and toppled over. Yeah, teammate of the year from Austin Dillon so far this season. It kind of stinks up for Dillon because by doing that, he might have forfeited a couple extra positions with DNFing out of technicality and not finishing those last 2 laps, where if he could have limped it to pit road, he could have saved some points. Considering that it was another driver below the cutoff line winning, that definitely hurt him in the standings. He's probably going to have to get a win anyway, but that definitely hurt him. So he kind of hurt himself in the point standings, all things considered, with him not having a win yet this year by doing that. That's the first win for RCR in general since 2020 at Texas in the summer, when Austin Dillon won the track position race there. I was about to say, I mean, I guess it was a pit strategy race because I did take 2 tires instead of 4. We were able to hold on. The other teams could have done that, but they didn't. So yeah, that pit strategy win at Texas. It's hard to believe it's been over 2 years since Richard Childress Racing has gone to victory lane. Nearly flew in midair. He did fly in midair. I mean, like, he toppled over, but then when he caught the way the car is shaped, he kind of caught the sand in a weird spot when he was sliding across it, and that's what kind of sent it back into the air the second time. Flipped into the catch fence. It was weird too because there's so much space between where the padded wall or the tire wall, whatever it was, between the wall and then the catch fence, that he actually landed in between the wall, or where the wall was. He landed in that, I guess, open area between the tire barrier in front of it because he never actually hit the tire barrier. That was crazy. Tires don't matter at Texas. This is true. That's another reason why I didn't really want to call it a pit strategy race, but like I said, nobody else took 4 and they took 2, so I guess it was a pit strategy win. I mean, they got to the field in some way, shape, or form, and definitely wasn't on speed, so I guess I'd have to call it a strategy win. 2 to go in stage 1 this time by. Does Blaney have enough fuel? Again, the window's 13 to 14 laps. And this is a long racetrack per lap. He's got 8 miles to go to win the stage. Pit road is closed for anybody to hit pit road right now. Nobody, at least I don't think, pitted that lap prior. Larson may have had a shot to get to pit road and hit the commitment line before Blaney. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what will come of all this. Well, he's not going to be making any adjustments when that first pit stop comes about. Nomical Asgade, welcome to the stream. I don't know if I said your name right, but welcome. I'll just call you Nomical for short. Letting pushing hard. Even though he's still got the lead. Trying to give himself as much space as possible in case he has to coast it back to the start-finish line on the final lap. Larson's still staying within a few seconds behind Blaney. Blaney started to pull away, and then he kind of stagnated out. I think his tires have fallen off enough. He's not quite able to push as hard as what he once was to get to Larson. It's like Byron's still in third and Reddick's still in fourth back there. Definitely a lot less rear grip in the 12 of Blaney. His race cars just kind of power sliding through some of these corners. Came into this race and into qualifying with a little bit of a looser setup. No practice, but also no adjustment change from qualifying to the race, despite the fact that Blaney made that mistake on both laps in round 1 of qualifying. Final lap right now in the stage. There are a couple drivers on pit road that will be getting penalties and have to restart the tail end of the field. They're going to go lap down anyway because of it. They were so far back that even pitting, they're going to lose a lap. In this opening stage, does Blaney have enough fuel to make it all the way back around? The good news is he will be on the lead lap to the end of the stage if he did run out, but obviously doesn't want to run out because he's got a playoff point he can get here, which will carry all the way through the playoffs every round he advances through, as well as the fact that it's going to be 10 regular season points towards the regular season championship. Doesn't want to lose out on that. He doesn't have the points lead yet. Hasn't led in points since winning the Daytona 500 at the start of the season. Less than a half a lap to go for Ryan Blaney to win this opening stage. No word from his crew chief on what the fuel situation is, but that may not matter. He is definitely going to the max and will have to pit during the stage break. But I think Ryan Blaney is going to have enough. He's only got 3 turns left after the kick here. 3 more off-throttle corners. And then 1 gigantic hill back to the start-finish line. Larson still in second back there. Nobody else has caught him. Blaney has pulled away just a little bit more in the last lap and a half. Larson maybe holding back, trying to save fuel, knowing he had a pretty decent gap back to his teammate Byron in third. Off the final corner. Blaney back into the gas. And I think he can coast it from here. Ryan Blaney will win stage 1. Oh man, 2 cars missed pit road 3, it looks like. Blaney wins stage 1. Couple cars ran out of gas who tried not to pit there to the end of the stage. That was interesting. But there is your top 10, ladies and gentlemen, for stage 1. And it kind of shook up with some drivers pitting towards the end of the stage. And that's why you see some of the maybe underfunded teams or underdog teams in the back half of the top 10 that actually got some stage points there. Let me take a picture because I do have to do the points myself for this season. Ryan Blaney gets the playoff point, the stage win. And that is stage win number 11 on the season for Blaney. 11 stage wins, but only 6 race wins this year. And only 7 top 10s on the season. But 11 stage wins for Ryan Blaney. Kyle Larson finishes second. William Byron third. Tyler Reddick fourth. Austin Cindric rounds out the top 5 in stage 1. Daniel Suarez sixth. Kaz Grala seventh. Justin Haley in 8th, BJ McLeod 9th, and Ryan Newman will round out the top 10 in this opening stage. I can't see who all DNF'd, but Chase Elliott outside the top 30. I think those were definitely the drivers who had to pit at the end of the stage, and they will get penalized for pitting with less than 2 laps to go in the stage. Nobody pitted before 2 to go in the stage. Ryan Blaney definitely going to pit during the stage break as he was able to make it on fuel and win. No damage to repair. He's kept the car clean so far. And it'll be a 4-tire stop with no adjustments for the 12 team. Everybody who did not pit there will definitely pit now. Yeah, that too. That would have been a dangerous situation. Crowd just seemed to be like really close to the fencing too. So I didn't see any debris go into the crowd, which was also good. Good thing that fencing held up. Alright, well, Blaney back in traffic now. Will be 19th on the restart. Green flag is going to be back in the... I just changed through the camera angles when I didn't want to. Green flag back in the air at Road America. Blaney down to the inside. He gets by Larson. A lot of traffic at the back here. Cars fanning down 3 wide. Oh, look out, look out. Kyle Busch into the back of the 9 of Chase Elliott. Heavy damage on the front of the 18 car. Man, they stacked up big time going into turn 1. Luckily, they did not start wrecking right in front of the 12 car, who was underneath a few of them. Heavy damage to at least 4 cars there. Wild restart at Road America. Dillon gets a little slideways off the curbing following turn 2. Blaney gets around him for 16th. Might have been some cars that stayed out during the stage break as well to get track position. Oh, Elliott up the middle, 3 wide. You want to talk about trying to late break into the corner? Chase Elliott did just that. Trying to go 3 wide between Blaney and his teammate Alex Bowman. Be careful not to blow a tire with contact as well. Blaney on the outside gets by Gralla for position in turn 7. What a crazy restart. 15 laps in stage 2 this time, so a lap longer than stage 1. Stage 1, Blaney was already pushing it on fuel. It's going to be tough for him to make it to the end of stage 2. He's going to try it, though. That's an extra 4 miles. That's going to be tough. That is going to be extremely tough. Unless we get a caution at some point during this stage. That would make it a lot easier to be able to make it on fuel. It's also got to get through this track. Or get through the field, I should say. Navigate this long racetrack. I don't know where the 48 was exactly. It wasn't in the top 10. I just passed him on the restart. He was just outside the top 10. Lenny down on the bottom. Makes a pass for 10th on Christopher Bell. We're going to alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in this race today. Hit lap 2 of stage 2 under green flag conditions. Blaney closing in on the regular season points leader Joey Logano, teammate at Penske Racing. Charging hard towards turn 2. Raymond Tui, welcome to the stream. Dark Crypto, welcome. Yep. Happy Independence Day to everybody out there in the U.S. Any Canada viewers, happy Canada Day. I guess technically a few days ago. Oh my goodness, that was a big moment for Blaney, and he's off into the sand. And he's trying to get out of it. He's stuck and beached in turn 5. He went in hot, got into Ross Chastain. And Blaney is stuck. Almost out. And he is out. Big moment for Ryan Blaney off into the sand. Luckily the sand kept him from hitting the wall. But Blaney was stuck. Took him a long time to get out of there. And his tires are cooked right now. Yeah, Blaney cannot get the car to turn. I think he might have a tire down. May have flat spotted a tire. Trying to get out of the sand. Because it is not wanting to turn to the left. It's turning to the right. Not to the left. Most of the corners at Road America are right-hand turns. His tires are cooked right now. He cannot get the car to slow up. He's going to have to come down for 4 tires. This car is not turning left at all. I think Blaney might have flat spotted a tire. trying to get the car out of the sand. So Blaney will come to pit road this time by. After winning stage 1, being back in traffic, he overran turn 5. Really the first mistake of the day for the 12. And he is on pit road. 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments, but I think he has flat spotted probably one of the right side tires, if I had to imagine. Good news is he won't go a lap down. The bad news is he's going to obviously lose a lot of track position. No damage on the 12. He got through there cleanly. Unfortunately, just, like I said, went off wide into the sand and was beached there for a little bit trying to get the car out. Kind of got into Custer a little bit there. And Blaney will work his way back out onto the racetrack. And no cars in line behind him. He's got a lot of catching up to do. Good news is we're going to have another stage break. It looks like Kurt Busch in the 1 car is currently leading. So much for trying to sweep the stages today. I think there's a good... Well, the good thing is with Blaney pitting there, it was going to be close on him to make it on fuel to the end of the stage. So with pitting when he did, he's definitely going to make it on fuel now. But he obviously lost a lot of track position in the sand at turn 5 as well. And the car's turning fine now. So yeah, he definitely blew a tire. A lot easier to do with the Gen 6 cars, too, when you lock the tires up to flat spot them like Blaney did. Definitely pushed it a bit too hard there. Trying to make that pass in traffic. It's all by himself with clean air, fresh tires. Definitely still has a car capable of winning this race. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. That was the first career win for an F1 driver and a NASCAR driver yesterday, both on road courses. Both drivers that have been at it for a little while, too. The top level of their motorsport. I will say, I do like this camera angle quite a bit on this game. Only bad part is no rear view mirror with it. By the way, Blaney fell back to 27th in the running order following having to make an unscheduled stop for flat spotting a right side tire in turn 5 on that restart. Again, we are very early in stage 2, long ways to go still in this race as a whole. And Blaney's got a fast car after winning stage 1, leading the final 5 laps of that stage, getting around Kyle Larson. Larson started on the front row, and Blaney started back in 16th, made his way through the field. Blaney's pushing really hard in the Canada corner right now. He's starting to struggle with that corner in stage 2. Wasn't really struggling with it in stage 1. He's kept it off the wall. He's just using a lot more access pavement than what he did back in the first stage. He's got to get back in a rhythm again. I feel like this is definitely one of the more difficult racetracks to get in a rhythm, not only because it's so long, but also considering the fact when you're all by yourself and you can't really follow another car in line, having to create the line yourself really puts the drivers in a very difficult task to try to keep the car on the track. A lot of blind corners with a lot of elevation changes as well. Steep elevation changes at that. I've never seen any of the Jaws movies, to be completely honest. I don't really watch a lot of movies. There's a lot of classic movies I have not watched. New, old. I've seen a lot more older movies than newer movies. Not a big movie person. I'll probably see a new movie a couple times a year, and that's about it. And a new movie, like not like a new released movie, like just a movie I've never seen before in general. Like 2 or 3 times throughout the course of a calendar year. Usually in the winter time when it's not NASCAR season and I'm not as booked on the weekends with just things to do. This time of the year, I don't really look at trying to watch movies. Too nice outside. Nation Plays, WT, welcome to the stream. NASCAR 21 is trash. Trust me, it is. I know. I'm well aware. I will say today's race has been pretty good so far. Had our drama at times, and that last restart was crazy. Unfortunately, Blaney just flat spotted a tire in turn 5. But if it wasn't for that, like I said, he's got a really good car. I think he can win this race. Road courses are the shining moment on this game. So I'm glad after, a couple months off of not playing this game, I'm glad that I came back to a road course being the first race. So obviously with Blaney in 27, that means only 27 cars are on the lead lap currently. And like I said, we'll see how much time he can make up, because I think the field is going to have to pit before the end of stage 2, knowing that pit window is 13 to 14 laps. Blaney's going to be able to make it with pitting at lap 2. He's back in traffic a little bit. Went wide in turn 5. He kept it on the access pavement that time. That's what that pavement is used for. Luckily, he did not go off in the sand a second time. He's also lucky he wasn't too far out in the sand that he was able to get the car out, even with flat spotting one of the right side tires. I mean, he could have been stuck there for the full stage and could have ended any shot of winning. We'll just have to be more careful with that on the next restart. That wasn't something that he had an issue with in qualifying or at all in stage 1 when he was trying to get through the front runners at the front of the field that out-qualified him early on either. A lot more methodical getting through there. He probably should have been that time. At least it saves him from potentially running out of gas at the end of the stage. Kurt Busch is leading right now. The leaderboard's all jacked up, but every now and then I keep seeing his name come up with P1 beside it. A lot of that excess pavement used. Canada corner again. Last I saw Chase Elliott, he restarted right around me. So he took it 3 wide middle in turn 5 the lap before. Saw a mistake from Blaney. So he was probably just outside the top 10 at the time. So hard to pass on this racetrack when things get spread out. 30th actually is Chase Elliott. He might be one of the cars a lap down. And the reason why we see so many cars a lap down right now, again, at least 13 of them, is because there were drivers that pitted with less than 2 laps to go on the stage and likely got penalized for it. And I think Chase Elliott might have been one of those cars. So he is going to try to fight to get back on the lead lap. Blaney's going to be off in the sand again in turn 5. Keeps it running, though, that time. He didn't have to come to a complete stop. So although he lost time, he didn't lose as much as he probably should have. And he didn't flat spot any tires that time either, as he was able to keep the car rolling. But he definitely lost a few seconds of ground. And going through that sand is going to wear out the tires quite a bit more as well. He's still going to have to pit during the stage break. So we'll have to plan for that. We'll be halfway through stage 2 this time by. We'll have 8 laps to go. Up 2 games to none on the Kraken. Yeah, Truex coming back. I'm sure if you're a Truex fan, you're definitely happy with that announcement. Oh, man, Blaney just keeping the right side tires on the pavement that time in turn 1. I think he's just pushing too hard in this stage. He needs to back it up a bit. He was really, really good in stage 1 on speed. And he's just driving it too hard, putting himself back in traffic by not pitting before the end of the stage and taking the playoff point. Actually, exactly what Blaney did in stage 2 in real life yesterday, coincidentally, at Road America on 4th of July weekend. No problem. Thanks for tuning in, Raymond. Again, everybody hit that like button if you have not already, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. Just 6 subscribers away from 2.4 thousand coming into the stream tonight. I do think we can get there if we haven't already. I haven't been able to check yet. Had a good, fun race so far tonight. Still over halfway to go, and I'm sure we're going to see some more on-track battles before the end. Blaney just had to make an unscheduled stop at the beginning of the stage. Flat spotted the right side tire on lap 2 of the stage. Battling for position into turn 5, got beached out in the sand. He did get back out there one more time, and luckily he was able to keep the car rolling. But not early in this stage, at least. He wasn't able to do so, and costed him. He was in the top 10. Well, he's just catching up to the back of the field right now. Back marker cars. At least one of them. I'll get the YouTube trophy. What does that entail? What is the YouTube trophy? I didn't know there was a YouTube trophy. Right corner in turn 5 that time for Blaney. Again, as he closes on the 5, or not the 5, I was thinking it was last stage. He's closing on a car. One of the rookies. I think it's Matt Mills, who's in 26th in the 55 car. Blaney should be able to rocket it around him once he gets to him. Towards the outside. Takes a little bit of an undercut to the bottom. Beats Mills back to the gas, clears him. Mills might have just let the 12 go. Blaney's got a faster car and a little bit fresher tires. How about Michael McDowell in 3rd place? One of his better racetracks, having a good run today. Maybe he'll have a shot at the win come race end and try to lock himself into the play. And actually, I think McDowell won at the Daytona Road Course earlier in the season. And probably like 4+ months ago, if I remember correctly. So I think he is in the playoffs. So I believe he did win the first road course race. And then the second 2 were won by Blaney at Coda and Sonoma within the last handful of races. Silver trophy. It's more of a plaque. It's not like a trophy, but I know what you're talking about now. I thought you were talking like something else. Yeah, it's for 100,000 subscribers. And you get gold. It's like a silver one, but then you get a gold one for $1 million. Josh Putnam fan 212, welcome to the stream. BNSF Trains of Fullerton, welcome to the stream as well. I see you guys in the chat. Coming in hot on Cindric. That was an aggressive pass by Blaney to get past his teammate in the 33, and he did complete it. Sometimes you just gotta send it in, and he was able to get around his teammate cleanly at that. That's an aggressive move from a ways back into turn 5. That's similar to how he ended up putting it in the sand earlier. He got beached out there at the beginning of the stage, but at that time he was able to keep the car on the track. You just have to be so gentle on the brakes, even when you're mashing them. Keep from locking those tires up too much. Big close on the 62 for position. Pass is made from Blaney. Off the Canada corner, into the kink they go. Yeah, Reddick got around Elliott for the win in that same corner. Turn 5. That was definitely the action corner yesterday. Big dive. Blaney getting a pass on Corey LaJoie, and LaJoie was actually a lap down. 10 of Almirola is not a lap down. Remember, there's some cars with damage from that restart, and Almirola is one of those cars. Him, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, and there was somebody else that had damage following the restart. Maybe it's Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe's got some damage too. Whoop, I accidentally downshifted there. Press the wrong button. Trying to switch the camera angles. Big dive into turn 1 now for Blaney as he closes on Houff. Newman's falling back after finishing 10th in stage 1. He might have had to pit, though, during the stage break and lost some track position there. Blaney makes a pass in turn 2 on Houff. That's for 23rd. I think Blaney's got a shot to get back in the top 10 if cars pit before the end of the stage. Who knows? Maybe he can win the stage if everybody ends up pitting before the stage comes to an end. Again, pit road closes with 2 laps to go in the stage. Blaney's going to run wide. He keeps it off of the sand once again, but he's going to lose a couple positions. Almirola is actually a lap down, so he only lost 1 spot that he had gained on Houff a couple corners prior. Go back to the far chase cam to the end of stage 2 when we get back to the start-finish line after alternating through the different camera angles for the first time today. No, I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about on this season of NASCAR 21. No, I know Chastain won at Coda earlier this year. McDowell hasn't won a race yet this season. And NASCAR didn't run at the Daytona Road Course this year either. I don't know why Quinn Houff checked up as much as he did. Blaney went in the grass to try and miss him, and he still got into him. Not as much as he could have. Did not want to blast him and put a hole in the front of this 12 car. Better to gently hit him in the next corner, I guess. As he gets back around him for position again. For the second time this lap. And he's a madman right now, just trying to push as hard as he can. Looking for any sort of a chance right now to get back into position to get some stage points if cars pit before the end of the stage. Blaney hard into turn 1 underneath the 6 of Newman. Gets around him as far back as he was. I'm surprised he made that pass. Again, Blaney just slightly fresher tires than the rest of the field. Pitting a few laps into the stage. Look at him close on Harvick. Couldn't get back into the gas as quickly as the 4 car, though. As hard as he went in. It's kind of a good thing he didn't get alongside of him because he probably would have turned him. We haven't had a caution for incident today. All the cautions... Well, the only caution was for the stage break. And actually, in real life yesterday, there were no cautions for incident. They were only the stage break cautions at Road America as well. Harvick gets sideways, almost loses control in front of Blaney, and Blaney will get around him after the mistake in turn 5. Harvick was trying to power to the gas. I thought he was going to spin out right in front of the 12 car. Oh, we almost saw our first caution. Potentially. It's hard for yellows to come out on road courses. Then you're going to outbreak the 77 of Justin Haley for 21st. Tyler Reddick right in front of him. Reddick had a top 5 in stage 1. Was 4th. Blaney on the outside of him. Will make the pass. Complete. Big run on BJ McLeod. Pulls out a line. It will clear him before getting into the kink. Luckily, that's not going to be side-by-side into this corner. I haven't seen side-by-side in the kink today, and I don't want to test that out. Especially with these cars, they're not as durable. There's Byron. If Blaney can catch Larson, who were some of the drivers who had stayed out to get some stage points in stage 1, maybe Blaney still has a shot to win the stage. Picking up that much time on fresher tires, he's going to get by Byron for position. And pit road will close with 2 to go in the stage, 3 to go at the line. But this stage is an extra lap compared to stage 1. One car sideways on pit road right now. I don't know who that was, but somebody wiped out. There are a couple cars that were in the pits. So Blaney's up to 18th. Dives underneath of Cody Ware. The 51 just couldn't quite get underneath him. He was a tad too far back. Turn 2. Blaney a little too far back again. Trying to get back to the gas at a decent spot that time so he can try and stay in the draft of Ware. This next long straightaway. And we'll see. He's got a run on him in the draft. As they get up through 4th gear, you can see the 12 closing on the 51. Now he'll pull out a line. Out-braking the 51 and out downshifting him into turn 5. And Blaney still hits his marks perfectly too. Even with having to make that dive bomb maneuver to make the pass for position. Now, rookie Anthony Alfredo right in front of him. Almost forgot Alfredo was full-time in the Cup Series last season. We'll bump and run. Through turn number 7. Into 8. Joey Gase will get past Blaney to 15th. 2 to go this time by. We'll see if the leaders are going to pit this time. It's their last chance to do so before pit road closes. He's committed to pitting at the stage break. We know he's good on fuel to the end of the stage. Larson's in 14th. Actually, Blaney's in 14th. Larson, I thought he was in 14th. I don't know where he's... Oh, he's in 12th. I think he was in 14th, but then he has passed some cars that are on pit road. Oh, Blaney goes wide. That's going to cost him there. Blaney might be racing Larson for the stage win, depending on who stays out and who pits. More cars on their way into pit road right now. A lot of them are in the pits. Blaney is inside the top 10, up to 7th. He has burned through these tires right now. Just has to hang on for about 2 more laps. 6th place is Ryan Blaney. 1 spot ahead of him is Kyle Larson. Does Larson have enough fuel to make it to the end of the stage? Can the stage be won by the 12 of Blaney by short pitting on lap 2 of the stage versus everybody else pitting towards the end of the stage? Kurt Busch is still in the lead. Blaney has not managed his tire wear as well as he did in stage 1. That is for certain. Definitely going to have a good points day so far going for him through the first 2 stages. I do think everybody but Larson will pit this time. It's just going to be, will Larson have enough fuel to make it that extra 4 miles in stage 2 compared to what we had in stage 1? Imagine Cody Ware replaced Takuma Sato for a spot, or was replaced by Takuma Sato for a spot in NASCAR. Hey, NASCAR promotes aggressive driving, and I think anybody who has watched IndyCar would know very well that Takuma Sato is probably one of the more aggressive IndyCar drivers. Put Alex Rossi and Takuma Sato in IndyCar, or in NASCAR. They might be a threat to win on the road courses at least. Heck, I mean, Takuma Sato has won some Indy 500, so he'd probably be good on the big ovals too. Pocono, he might have a shot to win there. Indy goes back to the oval, or NASCAR goes back to the Indy oval. I think Larson pitted. We'll see. Joey Hand was impressive. Rick Ware equipment this weekend. I don't know where he finished. He finished 2nd in stage 2. Blaney to 2nd. Kurt Busch still on the track. Larson pitted. He's in 21st, so you guys in the chat are right. Larson pitted. Kurt Busch leads. Does Kurt Busch have enough fuel to make it to the end of stage number 2? Blaney to 2nd, hoping that Busch runs out. He's light years ahead of Blaney right now. Just for about 7 or 8 seconds behind the 12 on fresher tires currently. Final lap, stage 2. Can Blaney get yet another stage win? If so, it'd be his 12th of the season. Can't even really see Kurt Busch anywhere on the track right now. I mentioned it was going to be a fuel mileage race in stage 1 and stage 2. More so in stage 2 with that extra lap. Short pitting almost worked out for Ryan Blaney. Unless Kurt runs out of gas up that gigantic hill on the front stretch, which isn't impossible. Blaney pressing hard just in case. 3 more corners to go for Blaney. Nobody anywhere in sight behind him right now. Or in front for that matter. Yep, Kurt Busch has won stage 1 as he was able to coast and make it, or won stage 2, excuse me, as he was able to coast and make it on fuel. So that'll be a playoff point for Kurt Busch if he qualifies for the playoffs, if he doesn't already have a win this season. Ryan Blaney will pick up second, though, in stage number 2. I think he'll take that. 19 stage points total for Blaney so far today. Kyle Busch is wrecked on pit road behind the 62 of gone. I saw somebody sideways there for a while. I didn't know it was Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch, who didn't get any stage points in stage 1, wins stage 2. Ryan Blaney second, Christopher Bell third, Daniel Suarez fourth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 5th, Alex Bowman 6th, Joey Logano 7th, Denny Hamlin 8th, Matt Mills 9th, and Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10 in the opening, the second stage. I keep saying stage 1. It was obviously stage 2. Take a picture for points purposes again. Super hopeful for Sato scoring a NASCAR ride after all he's been everywhere all over the world. Hey, Project 91. You never know. Alright, so for Kurt Busch, that is his second stage win of the season. Now, Kurt Busch does not have a win yet this year. And let me look real quick. Let's see. Blaney has 6 wins. Logano has 1. Keselowski has 1. Chase Elliott has 1. William Byron has 1. Martin Truex Jr. has 1. Kyle Busch has 2. Christopher Bell has 2. That is 9. Yeah, that's not. Wait. 8 different winners. Tyler Reddick has 1. That's 9. Harvick's got 2. That's 10. Michael McDowell has 1. So 11 different winners so far on our NASCAR 21 Ignition season. After today's race, 6 races to go until the playoffs. 5 spots still open as of right now. Maybe we get another new winner today. I like the crew chief. Why are we passing under yellow? We're not. Pit stops. Oh, don't want to make an air pressure adjustment. No adjustments for the 12 of Blaney right now. It'll be 4 tires on fuel, second stop of the day. And it will be during the second stage break of the day. There's also the second caution. No cautions for incidents so far. I've heard that from Newgarden in the past. I think a lot of it is because he watched it a lot as a kid growing up in the South. Because he's from Nashville. Green flag back in the air. We saw a crazy restart in stage number 2. I'm sure we're going to see the same thing here in stage number 3. This could be the final restart of the race. Blaney on the inside, 3 wide, expecting a stack up from behind. Cars pulling out of line. Blaney pulling out of line. No jam session that time in turn 1 like we saw in the last stage. Look at how hard Blaney's going into turn 2, passing a lot of race cars. There's Busch, who's on the outside of the 12. Back at 30th is Busch. He's got heavy damage. He was one of the cars that ran into the back of another. 33 laps in this final stage. It is likely going to be a 2-stopper in stage 3. Maybe somebody can make it on 1. That would be interesting. Oh, Quinn, how of evasive maneuver to the inside, nearly running into the back of BJ McLeod in the 78, mid-pack. Blaney guns it. Underneath McLeod, makes a pass in turn 6. Into 7 now on the inside of Cody Ware. Gasses it up. Can't clear him. Still side by side. Blaney cuts to the inside. What a crossover. Into turn 8. Ware went high to try and block, and Blaney cut underneath him. Closes in on the 0-0. Passes him into the carousel on entry. Blaney feels like Superman right now with a little bit fresher tires. Gets around Byron off the exit of the carousel. Closes in on Kyle Larson. Into the kink. Side by side in the kink. Contact with Newman. Dangerous area of the racetrack there to be doing that. And Blaney and Newman make it unscathed. I don't think Blaney cut a tire that time, so that's good. Newman didn't either. They drive on and battle for 11th. Blaney will complete the pass in the Canada corner. I don't know. It's just a game. If you're under 100 miles an hour in this game, there's tire smoke. It's not locking the tires up or spinning the tires at all. For anybody who's played NASCAR 21 Ignition would know exactly why it does that. Well, not exactly why it does that. It's a game glitch, but when it does that. Yeah, so it's going to be very important to pay attention to the pit strategy here in this final stage exactly, because Ryan Blaney's crew chief's already telling him he's low on fuel even though he just pitted during the stage break. Gonna have to pit about every 14 laps. Even if you try to stretch at 15, it's still a two-stop stage, so it's not necessarily worth stretching it that far. If you want to split it into thirds, you could probably pit every 11 laps, which is probably the ideal situation in case cautions do come out in this final stage. You don't want to get trapped at the back of the field again if you're Blaney and have to pass these guys more than once to try and get through the field. Try to get through them the first time. You know it's going to be two stops for everybody in this final stage. You might as well make sure that you just pit your two times without risking it on fuel. I think that's going to be probably the wiser decision. And that also allows him to push on tires a little bit harder considering he only has to go on two 11-lap runs. It's more manageable than 14 to 15 laps like we saw in the first couple stages where you saw Blaney lacking on grip there towards the end of stage 2. Got a lot tighter towards the end of the stage. Gets by Truex underneath Chastain. Chastain gonna let Blaney go into the kink as Blaney closes on the 48 of Alex Bowman for 7th. Blaney underneath Bowman. Clears him. Right in line behind Logano. Hamlin and Suarez in front of him. Blaney is right there. Oh, Hamlin slides. Wheel hopped it going into that final turn. Blaney gets around Logano for 6th behind him meanwhile. Then you're going to try to break the draft to pull out of line. I'm sure that 22 car wasn't going to close in on him there. Blaney back to the outside now to try and arc himself into turn 1. Coming in hot underneath the 11 of Hamlin. Completes the pass from quite a ways back. Blaney does have a few lap fresher tires than the cars in front of him who pitted before the end of the stage. Making some of the difference, plus the 12 has just had a good car on top of it so far today. There's a reason why he won stage 1 and finished 2nd at stage 2. Power to NASCAR one day? I mean, you never know. I wouldn't lean on that. Blaney right in line behind the Good Sam's number 99 of Daniel Suarez for Trackhouse Racing. Suarez has been good in real life this year on the road courses, and he's having a good show so far today. That last lap, by the way, for Blaney was a 2:14, even in traffic. See Stenhouse in 3rd just up ahead. Blaney to the outside of Daniel Suarez. Suarez not giving Blaney a lot of room. Blaney a little bit wide. And he's going to have to just back off behind the 99 for now into the kink. Suarez did not give Blaney a lot of room off the exit of the carousel. Into the Canada corner. Blaney going to try the inside and clears Daniel Suarez with a clean pass. See 2nd place Christopher Bell way up ahead, but Kurt Busch is even further beyond that. We can alternate through the different camera angles one final time in today's race. And final stage at Road America. Over 40 viewers watching. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Tonight's NASCAR coverage Live race commentary is on the video game side of things. I'll be commentating next weekend's Cup race at Atlanta, and hopefully the Xfinity race at Atlanta on Saturday as well, depending on when I can get back from Mid-Ohio from the Truck Series race. I shouldn't have as much traffic to deal with leaving that place, and I'm probably going to get a parking pass as well to make sure I can get out of there soon and get on my way so I can get home in time for that. I'll give you guys the live commentary coverage for both of the Super Speedway races at Atlanta next weekend, and then give you guys the race highlight video from the track Mid-Ohio for the Truck Series. I'm gonna do trivia tonight. Well, we're not quite yeah, actually we are just past halfway. Lap 31 would have been the halfway mark. So yeah, I'll do trivia tonight. Try to get around Stenhouse here, and probably next lap I'll pause it. And it looks like off the exit of the carousel, Blaney has cleared Stenhouse. Definitely think the best area of the racetrack for Blaney on a consistent basis has been the carousel into the kink. It's where he has seemingly made the most of his passes so far today. And on a consistent basis is that much quicker than the rest of the field. A bit wider than what he wanted to be that time. Through the Canada corner, but kept it on the asphalt, which is good. Kept it off the wall, which is obviously really good. Don't want to blow a tire. And back onto the main straightaway. So I'll pause it. I'll try to find a trivia question for you guys. Means we're just past the halfway point. Of course, that is a regular thing on the channel. Pump on Purpose, welcome to the stream. Welcome from Germany, by the way, as well. Appreciate you tuning in. International viewer of the channel. Maybe I'll try to find a question from yesterday's Road America race. So I'll try to find you guys Road America track fact. Let's see. Looking at this quickly, but I think I have an idea for a question. Yeah, I think I've got it. Alright, so tonight's trivia question and Road America track fact on the channel is this. Who are the only two drivers in yesterday's NASCAR Cup Series race at Road America to score stage points in each of the stages? So again, who are the only two drivers in yesterday's NASCAR Cup Series race to score stage points without a win? Sorry. So who are the only two Cup drivers without a win this season to score stage points in each of the first two stages in yesterday's race? That is tonight's trivia question. I know things got scrambled up there at the end of the stages with how the pit strategy plays out on the road courses in the stage racing era, but try to make as tough of a question as possible. So again, drivers without a win. There were two drivers without a win this season that scored stage points in both of the first two stages yesterday. Who are those drivers? And Reddick is not one of those because he did win yesterday's race. So going out of yesterday's race. Oh, Blaney. Really wide in turn 5. Third time he's done that today. Lost a lot of time. Didn't flat spot the tires, so I think he's all right. Saw how much that put into effect of his tire wear in the last stage, and definitely put it into effect there. Truex is not one of... There were two of them. You have to name them both, though. You have to name both in your answer. Unlimited guesses in the chat. But Martin Truex Jr., not one of them. The answer to the trivia question will be at the conclusion of lap 38 we'll go. Because these are long laps at this racetrack. You guys have about 4.5 laps. Try and get tonight's trivia question correct. Thanks for everybody hitting that like button right now. We've had over 40 people watch it at one point. I noticed a lot of people left after I paused it. Sorry, I had to get the trivia question out for you guys. Usually doesn't take me too long. Harvick and Blaney is not the answer. Larson's got to win this season. And he did not get stage points in each of the first 2 stages anyway. There are only 5 drivers total who got stage points in both stages yesterday, but only 2 of them did not have any wins. Logano's got to win this year too. Again, guys, without a win this season in real life. Two drivers without a win this season that got stage points in yesterday's race at Road America. In stage 1 and stage 2. 2 of them. You had to put both of them in your answer, too. And he's starting to reel in second place, Christopher Bell. Again, you guys gotta put... you gotta have 2 answers. 2 answers in your question, or in the chat. Like, not like on different chats. There you go. McDowell, Dillon. That is not correct. McDowell had stage points in 1 stage yesterday, and Austin Dillon did not have any stage points in yesterday's race. Blaney all over the back of Christopher Bell. Big pass for position there. Not McDowell and Busher. Logano has a win this season, as well as Briscoe. They both have wins. This is definitely a tough question. There's not really too many drivers that have been competitive enough this year that don't have wins, so I think somebody will get it eventually. Refrain yourselves from looking it up as well. No, we're not pitting this lap. At lap 7 in the stage. Blaney's a few seconds behind race leader Kurt Busch, who won stage 2, and Blaney won stage 1. Coincidentally, the 2 stage winners are running 1-2 at Road America. Tough to have the track position. It'll be interesting how these pit stops are going to work out. When will the leaders pit? When will Blaney pit? Stenhouse did not get stage points at both stages yesterday either. Both the Busch brothers have wins this year. Stenhouse and Burton, that is close. That's the closest answer I've seen so far. And he's slipping and sliding his way on that long flat carousel corner. Into the kink. Kurt Busch has not won a race on this current NASCAR 21 Ignition season. He's got a stage win today, but can he get the race win to be the 12th different winner? Stenhouse and Elliott. Chase Elliott does have a win this season. Stenhouse is not one of the answers either. So that kind of gives you a little bit of a hint from Ethan's answer. You guys have 2 more full laps to try and get the answer to tonight's trivia question. And who are the only 2 drivers to score stage points in yesterday's Cup race at Road America that do not have wins on the Cup Series season so far in real life this year? Again, hopefully Blaney didn't use too much of his tires up those first few laps of the stage trying to get through the field. Restarting just outside the top 15 to get to second right now. Kurt Busch has a strong race car today. Stronger than I think even Larson had back at stage 1, where he finished second in the opening stage. One of those first 9 laps of the race. Blaney going wide. That's going to cost him. That is costly for Ryan Blaney. All 4 tires out into the sand for now the 4th time in turn 5. That wasn't the worst, but the last 2 times he did it wasn't quite as bad as that one. Bowman has a win this year. Hamlin's got some wins as well. James, welcome to the stream. Best current Cup and Xfinity driver is? I think Ty Gibbs is the best Xfinity driver, hands down. Maybe not on a week-to-week basis this season, but I think at least most talented. Cup. Honestly, the way this season's gone so far, I'd say either Chase Elliott or Ross Chastain this season in the Cup Series. Big push for Blaney that corner. Burton and Almirola, not correct. You guys have 1 more lap to try and get tonight's trivia question. Borised still. Borised is not racing still. He was not in yesterday's Cup race. He is on our NASCAR 06 season, though, for the Cup Series. Kent Grander, thanks for tuning in tonight. Blaney is closing back in on Kurt Busch again. Not the same distance behind him as what he was last lap into turn 5, so whatever time he lost there, he kind of gained that back over the rest of the lap. We are getting close to that first pit stop, though, in stage 3. We'll see if Blaney's pit crew can give him a clean stop. Good corner in turn 5, a lot better than the last lap for Blaney. And who are the only 2 drivers in yesterday's Cup race without any wins in the Cup Series season to score stage points in stage 1 and stage 2? That's tonight's trivia question. I think Blaney's going to have a shot to get around Busch next lap the way his pace is going right now. As long as he doesn't make a major mistake between now and then. He's got a few lap fresher tires than Kurt Busch, which has helped him try to get to this point in the run. It'll be interesting when they have equal tires in the next stage, or after the pit stops, depending on when they both pit. Blaney closes a lot in the kink. Kurt Busch blocking Blaney. Back and forth they go. They set up for the Canada corner. Ryan Blaney all over the back of the one of Kurt Busch. Busch goes just a bit wide, and another big block by the one car. On the inside and challenging down low is Blaney, side by side for the lead. Kurt Busch with the dive, and he's going to be able to hold on. Blaney with the drive. Trying to stay in the draft as Kurt Busch gets a much better exit and beats Blaney through the gears as they go back up the hill to the start-finish line. Blaney doing what he can to try and get as much draft as he can. Behind the one of Kurt Busch as they battle for the lead at Road America. Big dive into turn one. Blaney gets a little sideways. Kurt Busch with the launch off. Blaney all over the back of the one car. Trying to stay within close proximity in these high braking corners and long straightaways to stay in the draft and get around him. I did not see the answer to today's trivia question. I will give that to you as soon as I get done with this battle for the lead right now, which is very intense between Kurt Busch and Ryan Blaney. Blaney on the outside of Busch. That's not going to work in turn 5. He's trying something new. Trying to find a way to get around him. He's caught him. It's just so hard to pass at this racetrack. You don't want to make a mistake and wreck your race car. Knowing that there's still just over 25 laps to go. Just under 25 to go. This juncture of stage 3. The answer to tonight's trivia question. Yeah, I'll wait until this battle's over. Blaney's been really good off the exit of the carousel today. There he goes. He's got to run into the kink. Clear. Cleared him before they got into the kink. Blaney leads for the first time since winning stage 1. Got that stage win. It took him an awfully long time to get back to the lead by not pitting before the end of the stage like most of the field. But he was able to finally get back. Middle of stage 3. And now looking to drive away. And he's going to have to make sure he doesn't make any pit road speeding mistakes, any pit road issues for the crew. And we'll see if he can stay in front of Kurt Busch. He's got a little bit fresher tires right now than the one car. It's good that he's got this track position for the time being. We're at lap 11 of this stage. I think Blaney's going to stay out just a bit longer. At least until Kurt pits. Then he'll bring it in. Blaney knows he can only go about 14 laps on fuel, so he's only got a few more laps left in the tank. Tonight's answer to the trivia question. Sorry for giving you guys a little bit of a climactic break there, but regardless of the fact, the trivia question I asked you was, who are the only 2 drivers without a win in the Cup Series this season that scored stage points in stage 1 and 2 at Road America yesterday? The answer, which was close for a lot of you in the chat, Harrison Burton, a lot of you got. He scored stage points in stage 1 and stage 2. The other driver without a win this season that scored stage points in both stages was Eric Jones in the 43. Other drivers who scored stage points in both stages but had wins this year were Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, and Kurt Busch also. But those drivers had wins, so that's why they were not involved in the answer to the trivia question. But the other 3, they did. Or the other 2, I should say, of the 5 did score stage points at both stages. So Eric Jones, Harrison Burton was the answer to tonight's question. It was a tough one, but I was thinking somebody might have been able to get it. But that wasn't the case. I didn't see anybody stick with that or get that answer. See if Kurt Busch is going to pit this time. Blaney will stay out. And Kurt Busch is going to stay out again. Up the hill to lap 12 in the final stage. A lot of cars exiting pit road up ahead. Blaney might catch some lap traffic. Chase Briscoe is the closest car to him in 27th currently. Didn't Larson score in both stages yesterday? He might have. But he has a win, so he wouldn't have been in the answer either. Let me check real quick. I don't think he did, though. No, Larson had 0 stage points yesterday. He didn't score stages in stage 1 or stage 2. I have it pulled up on Racing Reference right now. Yeah, he didn't get any stage points yesterday. Pitted before the end of both stages. That's probably why he ended up finishing 3rd. I don't think Blaney's going to catch that car up ahead of him, considering the fact that that car is going to have a lot fresher tires than the 12. Briscoe in 25th. Blaney might just stay out all 14 laps of this run. That's only going to make one of the other runs, or if not both of them, even shorter to the end of the race. It's going to take 2 pit stops regardless in this final stage. The window a little bit shorter than what you would have saw in yesterday's race in real life. So even though in real life it was only a 1-stop race in the final stage, today it's 2. You only go 14 laps, which means they would be about 5 laps short if they went all 14 laps both runs. What did you say, Jimmy Johnson? Well, Johnson, I mean, I guess out of technicality, he didn't score any stage points yesterday because he didn't race in a race with stages. I think he finished top 15 at Mid-Ohio yesterday. He stayed out of trouble, which was good, but I noticed at least where I was sitting in turn 4, his car was moving around quite a bit. He was struggling. He was definitely struggling. He was very well off the pace from the rest of the field on speed. I don't think he was faster than anybody else, but on pit strategy, he was able to get up to about 15th with the way the cautions worked out and held on to his positioning. There were some cars with damage out there, some of them DNF, finished in front of, but he had a top 15, I believe. The last I checked, he was in 15th. I don't know if he actually finished top 15 or not, but there were a lot of drivers that had issues. He stayed out of trouble, so I'll give him credit for that. He definitely did better than the first 2 IndyCar races I saw him race in person, which was crashing out of the Indy 500 earlier this year, and at the Indianapolis road course last year, where he basically did what he did yesterday, only he couldn't strategize himself to a better finish. There weren't really cautions that played in his favor like in yesterday's race. Jasmine Williams, welcome to the stream. Chris Buescher. I don't think he had stage points at both stages. I could check real quick, but I don't think he did. I was pretty confident that I had the answer to that question for you guys. Buescher, he did not get stage points in either stage either. Probably another reason why he had a top 10. A lot of the drivers that finished in the top 10 yesterday didn't get any stage points because they pitted before the stage break. Not all of them, but most of them. And especially in stage 2. Except for Elliott or Reddick, but that was because so many cars pitted in front of him that they still finished 9th and 10th in their stages. Yeah, Buescher didn't have any stage points yesterday. Kurt Busch stayed out of the pits another lap. That last lap again. I think Blaney's just going to stay out this time. I'll just go 14 laps. That's about as far as Blaney is going to be able to go on fuel, considering that's how far he went in stage 1 to win stage 1. We'll go back to the far chase cam for the rest of the race. Get back to the start-finish line in a couple more corners. The race within the race on pit road coming up with Blaney having a few second lead over Kurt Busch. will say the crew chief's actually accurate with that. Blaney will have to pit this next lap. I think Kurt Busch might have just came in, pitting one lap before Blaney. I think he can gain some of that time back. Likely going to be a few seconds faster then, and Blaney might make a mistake in turn 2 as well. That's going to hurt the 12. He's wide. The last lap on these tires, stretching them as far as he could during this first run of stage 3. So 19 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by. Kyle Petty won at the Glen in 92. Her name is Javon Davis. Oh, gotcha. Well, welcome to the stream, Javon. I wonder why you were saying no. I thought you were talking about Busher. I was like, I just looked at it. Alright. So Blaney on his way in this time. It'll be the first green flag stop of the day for the 12. Pitting during each of the first 2 stage breaks. Well, never mind. I guess it's his second stop. This is going to be a 5-stop race for him. I forgot he short pitted in stage 2. Can't speed again. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. There he goes down to the commitment line. Just making sure he does not speed. There's one car that is parked against the inside wall in front of pit road right now. That'd be the 18 of Kyle Busch. That's the second stage in a row he has done that. Well, Blaney is in. There are a lot of other cars on pit road as we speak. I don't know who won Watkins Glen in 92. The answer to my trivia question was Harrison Burton and... oh, shoot. Harrison Burton and Eric Jones. Blaney might hold on to the lead. He made a mistake in turn 2. Got onto pit road pretty well. And is still going to cycle out ahead of Kurt Busch. So Ryan Blaney continues to lead following green flag pit stops for the first time in stage 3 at Road America. One more pit stop left to the end of the race. That window going to open to the end of the race in about another 5 laps for Blaney. Hit Busher? When did I hit Busher? Oh, you're talking about in the pit box? That doesn't count. I didn't have control of the car at that time. That was all AI's fault. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. cycled to second. Kurt Busch back to third. So Busch must not have had a clean stop compared to Stenhouse during those green flag pit stops. So Ricky is up to P2. Two drivers running second and third right now without a win on this NASCAR 21 Ignition season, trying to find themselves in the playoffs. Next race of our NASCAR 21 Ignition season is going to be taking place at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The old Atlanta, though, not the newly repaved Super Speedway Atlanta, so it'll be a little bit different of a race. 550 package, of course, too, unfortunately, but that will be our next race in NASCAR 21 Ignition. I will have the rest of the streaming schedule up for this week. If not by the end of the night, tomorrow morning I'll post it while I'm at work. So be on the lookout for that. Usually it's out on Mondays, but because I was not at my house for most of the day today and yesterday, doing stuff on the holiday weekend, going to the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race yesterday. I was at the Detroit Tigers game earlier today, their first game of their doubleheader. Hopefully they're going to sweep the Guardians today. Won 4-1 in the first game. They won the game. They had 10 hits, but they had 9 singles and a double. Won 4-1. They gave up 2 hits. And one of those hits was, I want to say in the 4th inning they hit a single, and then there was a solo home run in the 5th or 6th. I can't remember what inning it was. Or actually, the solo home run might have been in the 4th, and then they had a single somewhere else in there as well. Pitching was really good, though. Some guy made his debut for the Tigers today, too. Didn't even give up. Well, he gave up 1 run, I guess, on the homer. Pretty solid. I think he pitched 7 innings. Newman back up to 8th place. Looks like Logano's in 7th. Not as many stage points as Blaney today for Logano. We'll say Blaney will probably catch lap traffic before the end of this race, considering there's still one more pit stop left. Might be a while. And you just wonder, though, when do you pit if you're Ryan Blaney? You don't want the risk of a caution potentially coming out for the first time. I mean, trapped towards the back of the field again later in this race. Knowing how crazy the restarts have been so far today as well. So if you can make that pit stop under green, that would be more beneficial, but then you'd be on older tires on the restart as well. Caution would definitely be a lose-lose situation to the end of this race. I guess unless it came out before the window opens to the end. But it still puts the field back up one way or another. Which is not what Blaney wants to see, as he wants to see this race continue to stay green flag to the finish. I just saw Chastain's in 4th. He's having a good run. Chip Ganassi Racing, 42. Considering both him and Kurt Busch are in the top 5, that's a great day for Chip Ganassi Racing. Currently 3rd and 4th, and Kurt Busch won Stage 2. will say this is probably the absolute definition of a Sunday drive. What Ryan Blaney is doing right now. Pretty much all in the hands of his pit crew one final time in today's race. And that would be about it. No reason for him to have to go extra long on tires. If he wants to split it in half of running a stint of 9 and 10 laps to the end, he can. If he wants to push it to 14 and just run 5 to the end, he can do that as well. That window will be open to the end of the race this time by. Quite a bit of damage on race cars, pit road. Yeah, I did see that there were quite a few drivers out of the race. I think that's why Matt Mills is in 16th right now. I don't think that's based off of raw speed. There were a couple cars on pit road that time by with the window open to the end of the race now. Some of them are short pitting. Five pit stops total in this race today, though, for Ryan Blaney when he does have to make that final stop. That's quite a few. When it was originally looking like a 3-stop race today, he had to make that unscheduled stop, flat spotting his tire early in stage 2. Down in turn 5, so that was an unscheduled stop. Still finished second in the stage with a lot of drivers pitting before the end of the stage. So at least saved him points there. And he got back through the field. He really, in all reality, hasn't led that many laps today. Despite winning stage 1, he only led the last 5 laps of that stage. And didn't take the lead away until about 23 to go in this stage. And has led every lap since then. So he's really only led about 15 laps in today's race. But he has had one of the strongest, if not the strongest, car in the field from the start. Qualified 16th, which is why it took him so long to get to the front. Only led the last 5 laps of stage 1 by the time he passed Larson. A Blaney win would be good for any of the drivers that don't have wins on the season. It would be another repeat winner. So that is creating more of a likelihood that we're going to see some drivers lock themselves in on points into the playoffs. There's quite a few strong cars without a win this season. Larson being one of them, even though he's second in the regular season point standings coming into this race. NASCAR heading back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. Yep, that'll be a fun one. I'll be commentating that live stream on Sunday afternoon. For the Cup race, it'll start a half hour before NASCAR's coverage starts, where we'll have a pre-race. And the main race is on the USA Network this weekend. So for those of you that can't watch it, or for those of you that are going to watch it and want to listen to my commentary, I know a lot of you guys do that. You can definitely tune in for that as well. Good chance I'll be going live on Saturday for the Xfinity race the day before as well, as long as I get back from Mid-Ohio from the Truck Series race in a timely fashion, which is also going to mean that that Truck Series race can't be a wreck fest, which is actually saying quite a bit, because it's a Truck Series. And it's on a road course. It may be a wreck fest. Hopefully it's not. And if it's not, then I should be able to get home in time. It's only 67 laps. So I feel... I mean, the track is just less than 2 miles in length. It's only 150 miles. I think I should be able to get home. I live an hour and a half from the track. So theoretically, the race would have to get done at 3:30. Drop of the green flag for the Xfinity race is probably just after 5. The race coverage starts at 5. I'm going to say about 5:10, 5:15 would be the drop of the green flag. So at the very last minute, the truck race would have to get done at 3:45, which would be 2 hours and 45 minutes, which is actually really long for a truck race if it goes that long. If it's closer to 2 hours, that'll save me an extra 45 minutes if it does take a little bit of time to get out of the parking. But I definitely can't be sitting there for 2 hours like I did this last weekend. Might be a fun vlog watching me get out of there next week. Meanwhile, though, for this race going on right now, 13 laps to go this time by. Lenny can see some of the back of lap traffic. Make things a bit interesting. Remember the Atlanta race? I remember. Or will remember. Talk about earlier this season, I definitely remember. I was there in person earlier this year. It'll be the first... I think it's the first time back to a track for the second time this year for the Cup Series. But it'll be the first time I'll be doing live commentary of an Atlanta race this season on the channel this weekend. Second Super Speedway Cup race. I did the Talladega Geico 500 earlier this year. And here is the back of the lap cars. Blaney's closing in on Matt Mills in 16th. Quinn Houff 15th with all the DNFs that have happened through most of the field today. A lot of mechanical issues. It'll probably say disqualified on there, but it'll be a mechanical failure. Blaney has cleared Mills before getting into the kink. G. McLeod 14th. Not too far ahead of Houff as well. Lenny stuck behind Quinn Houff in the 0-0. Looks to the outside. Not going to get a lot of room in this final corner to get around the 0-0. Houff not giving Blaney a lot of room. He gave him enough, though. And they are side by side on the main straightaway. Houff trying to stay in the lead of the lap in case Kashi comes out late. It's not going to work, and Blaney's going to clear him well before the braking zone in turn 1. And he charging it in hard. A little bounce off the curb, and Houff's going to get right back around him. Oh, sideswipe him. Houff's holding on for dear life. Blaney beats him through the shifts off of turn 2, though, and he'll be able to clear him now. Now he can drive away from the 0-0. 14 cars on the lead lap today at Road America. I wonder if the game disqualified all those drivers for pitting when pit road was closed. If those were all the drivers that did that. Knowing the game and its penalty system, I would not be surprised if it did that. Instead of just, restarting him at the tail of the field, it just disqualified him from the race. And he's going to lap McLeod. Now 13 drivers are on the lead lap. Joey Gase just up ahead. Cody Ware, James Davison up there. They've outlasted the cars that have had some sort of an issue. And that is definitely going to luck themselves into a good finish. That was a big, big moment there for Blaney. He's got to be careful not to push this car too overly hard. 11 laps to go this time by. The last couple laps have not been clean for the 12. Blaney down low, and he'll get around the Rick Ware car of Gase. I'd say the road courses are most people's strong suit with this game because it's the game that the AI are most compatible with. Too bad for Blaney's sake. I know it's a teammate, but Joey Logano did not DNF, and he's looking like he's going to get a top 10 finish. Even with a solid points day, it doesn't look like Blaney would get much. Max amount of points he can score in a single race is 60. If Blaney wins, it'd be 59. He was just one spot shy of winning stage 2, which means that he will not get all the playoff points today either. He'll get 6 of the 7 available, but still be solid. Means all the playoff points he can get right now. Never know what's going to happen when the playoffs roll around, especially with this game. I'd like to win a game on NASCAR 21 Ignition, or win a championship on NASCAR 21 Ignition. I've been unable to do so far. Keep getting eliminated in the playoffs, round of 8, round of 12. Can't make it to the championship 4. And we'll see if Blaney can do that on this final season of NASCAR 21 Ignition. I think he's got a shot. 10 laps to go this time by. Long laps at Road America at that. Corner for Blaney. James Davison towards the rear of the lead lap, right in front of the 12. The 12 pulling out of line, gonna make the pass on the main straightaway. 10 to go. Blaney trying to get his 7th win of the season. I'll say the road courses have gone well for me on NASCAR. I was 6 so far in the 2 I've raced. Once in the Truck Series, once in the Cup. I won both of them. And trying to win 3 of the 4 road course races on NASCAR 21 Ignition as well. Where in 11th. See, Josh Balicki is in 10th. Charging to the bottom went Blaney in turn 5. Power slide, getting back to the gas, almost spun out. It's kind of similar to what we saw from Harvick earlier. Almost throttled it up a bit too soon, a bit too harshly. Ware holds Blaney tight through turn 7, but Blaney still makes the pass on Cody Ware as he had the advantage on the bottom lane that time. And stay in front of Ware through turn 8. And he'll try to drive away into the carousel in turn 9. Petty won at the Glen in 92. I don't know what kind of a corner that was. Now's not the time to get too relaxed. 9 laps to go. Saw one car on pit road, so some drivers are starting to pit for the final time. Definitely within the range to make it on fuel to the end of the race. And he's setting himself up pretty good right now. That last lap was almost 3 seconds slower than Blaney's fastest lap of the day, which was still set way back in stage 1. Less than 10 laps into the race. NASCAR in the lead lap. Josh Bilicki in 10th place. He rained down by the race leader Ryan Blaney currently. Blaney might have a shot to get around him in a few corners. Big run out of the kink. Like Bilicki was trying to side draft him as Blaney blew by on that next long straightaway. 9 cars on the lead lap. That's it at Road America today. We did see a late yellow. It'd probably be a guaranteed top 10 for Blaney as long as he just makes it to the end. Plus, he wouldn't restart that far back in the pack, too, if we saw a caution with some of the lead lap cars pitting already. So that's good for the 12th team as well. Not going to get any bonus points for leading the most laps in this game. Looking for the satisfaction of doing so regardless, as well as trying to win. Hard to come by on this game. And to win on top of it. Look, he's in 9th right now, so only 8 cars are in the lead lap. Somebody in the top 10 just pitted. And no pit road speeding penalty is what Blaney needs to hope for. Final green flag stop. Blaney with 1 win at Texas. Yeah, it wasn't a points race, so he technically doesn't have a win this season. That being the All-Star race. See another car up ahead. Wonder if that may be William Byron in the 24. Would be the last car in the lead lap. Could be a lap car as well that is already a lap down. I think it may be Bubba Wallace in the 23. So Blaney could go about 2 more laps on fuel, and that would be about it. So it looks like he will stretch it 14 laps into this run. He didn't have to, but still feeling confident with the handling in the race car right now, even though he has made a few mistakes over the last few laps. little bit wider than what he was earlier in the run. That last lap was a 2:11.409. He really backed that time up well. It's only 0.3 of a second off his fastest time in the race, and that was definitely one of his fastest, if not the fastest lap he has put down in Stage 3. Definitely the fastest lap he has had in the second fuel and tire set in Stage 3, even with about 13 laps on his tires. That was highly impressive. Newman is 7. Don't think of him as a great road course racer, but he's having himself a good day today. Stage points in Stage 1 as well. Don't think he had any in Stage 2. But he's definitely had a good run going for himself right now. Blaney to the outside in turn number 8 on the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Wallace held on for the position initially into turn 9. Blaney trying to get underneath him. He's just going to sit behind him. He's going to be patient. Time in the corner off a little bit. Beat Wallace back to the gas. It clears him off of the carousel. Logano's back to 9th. He may have just pit. Blaney stays out this time. He will have to pit the following time by, as that will be 14 laps into this run. 6 laps to go at the line this time by. Which means he'll only have 5 laps left once he pits. Byron is the last car in the lead lap. In 7th, next car ahead of Blaney. Byron will pit this time. So Byron's on his way in. Again, Blaney stays out. Giving us 6 laps to go. Get a caution at this point in the race. Might send it to overtime. We haven't had a caution for incident today. The only 2 yellows have been the stage breaks themselves. That has been it. Pretty straightforward one today. Very similar to yesterday's Cup race in real life at Road America. Maybe a little more strategy involved in this one. Well, there was a little bit in yesterday's race also. I think it's the last lap on these tires for Blaney. Went a bit wide in turn 5. Kept it out of the sand that time, though, luckily. Wasn't terrible, all things considered. He's definitely got a lot of time and ground that he can give up, and he'll still be in a good spot. Just can't speed on pit road here or to have a massive, massive penalty and cost him a shot at winning this race late, so he's definitely going to coast it to the commitment line. 45 miles an hour is the pit road speed limit. That'll be the real moment of truth. Not really any damage on the 12 car at all today. He's made contact with a few cars, but it's been a long while since he's even done that. Hasn't had many cars around him for most of this final stage, at least since that first green flag stop of the stage. The 5th and final stop total for Blaney, the 3rd green flag stop of the day. This time by. Again, 5 laps to go at the start-finish line this time by as well. He doesn't even have to put 5 qualifying laps down either. He can just kind of coast it. I'm sure he'd like to get to that white flag as soon as possible, because then that would mean if caution comes out, we wouldn't have an overtime restart. Blaney is on his way in. I guess I probably could gas up a little bit quicker. Yep, so Blaney is in. 4 tires and fuel. No adjustments will be made. Speed limit's 40. Oh, that's alright. I had a 5 mile per hour buffer, it looked like. I've been hitting 45 at the commitment line all day, so it hasn't costed me before. Getting those old tires off the race car. Backward style pit stop at Road America, having to service the left sides before the right sides. Not like traditional ovals. Very few road courses that are even like that. Just this track, Watkins Glen in Indianapolis. Are the only 3 in which you have this style of pit stop? There went Byron. So he'll stay on the lead lap for the time being. So he was able to gap Blaney a little bit, pitting a lap before him. Quinn Houff cycle up in front of him. I don't know if he's pit yet or not. 5 laps to go in the race. Blaney has fresh tires, as does everybody else who has just pitted. But in the last few laps, Blaney's still out in the lead with ease. Pretty clean stop by his crew. His car behind him is Matt Mills in the 55, who's a lap down. Kurt Busch is back to 12th. Another bad pit stop for the 1. See if he can get back in the top 10 before the end of the race. He's a lap down then now. Finding where he's at. Green flag pit stops have not gone well for Kurt Busch. Full tires, no problem for Ryan Blaney right now either since coming out of the pits. The 18th place car, Chase Briscoe in front of him. Briscoe at least 1 lap down right now. And now McDowell's going to go 1 lap down. Briscoe at least 2 down now with Blaney passing him. Blaney closing in big time in the Canada corner. Knocks the 53 car a little bit wide. Joey Gay, 7 cars on the lead lap. Byron, the last of those on the lead lap, is the next car ahead of Blaney, and he's not really in all reality that much further up ahead. Definitely in range to go a lap down before the end of the race. Four laps to go at Road America. Going to be a pretty wide margin of victory without any cautions in this final stage, and 2 green flag pit stops for Ryan Blaney. He is going in hot into turn 1, and he's off into the sand and into the wall. Oh my goodness! Left front tire is down. And he is beached in the sand. He has an awfully long way before getting out of it. Unbelievable. On fresh tires, nonetheless. He's trying to find a way out of it. He's so far in. I don't know that he can get out. The left front tire's flat right now on the 12 of Blaney. And every time he gets into the gas, keeps turning the car. Denny Hamlin is just taking the race lead. Back to third now. Stenhouse to second. Blaney is still stuck. Where's the caution? This would be the time for a yellow to come out. This is unbelievable. This might be the worst choke job ever. There's no way with a flat tire to get out of here. I'm surprised Blaney was able to do it in turn 5 back in stage 2. The way the pit strategy worked with cars pitting at the end of the stage, that's why he still finished second in the stage. I think he can get out of here eventually, but the race might be over by that time. He might be able to salvage a top 10 if he can get out of here. Well, he's got a flat tire. He's going to have to limp it home the last 4 laps, but probably the only way he can have a shot at a top 10. I mean, ideally, if a car stuck out in the sand like this, Yeah, caution would come out. Not that much damage on the 12 car. It was enough to blow the tire. The non-composite body. This is just slow and painful right now. Blaney's back to 10th, 11th. He's outside the top 10. Is almost out of the sand. And he is now finally out of the sand. He's going to work his way back onto the racetrack. The left front tire is down. He's not going to be able to turn the car to the right that well. '11th place. Gase behind him. About 3.5 seconds back. Should be able to turn the car to the left all right still. So turn 5 I don't think is going to be an issue for him. I think he needs to stay out of the pits these last 3 laps. I don't think he can pit. He's going to lose more spots. And trying to battle for the regular season points championship. Unbelievable heartbreak from the 12 of Blaney with just 4 laps to go in turn 1. Blowing the left front tire. And getting beached out in the sand for the 2nd time today, but no. More, I mean, he can't turn the car in these right-handed corners. He's going to get passed for position again. Kept it out of the sand that time, luckily. And he's going to smack the wall again. In the kink. And now he's got severe damage to the race car. BJ McLeod just passed him for position. That was a much harder hit into the wall that time. Just can't turn the car to the right. There goes Hamlin. That's going to put Blaney a lap down. Blaney staying out of the pits because he doesn't want to pit again and give up more spots. He's just going to limp it home. 2 laps to go with Hamlin putting him a lap down. Matt Mills was a spot. Blaney in 15th. Not sure if Denny Hamlin has been one of the drivers to win a race yet this season or not. Blaney's going to get beached again. Oh, keep the car running, keep the car running. Okay, didn't get beached that time. He's got a lap and a half to go. Hamlin less than that from victory. Road America, he put himself in the right place at the right time. These are the first laps Hamlin has led all day long. It's going to be the final 4 laps of the race as Blaney made a major mistake, which not only cost him a win, but it's going to cost him a top 10. Scored a lot of stage points today, but it could have been much better than that. He's going to lose out on 5 playoff points for not winning the race. More regular season points in that fight for the regular season championship. I think Logano's going to get a better finish than him. Yeah, Logano's in 3rd right now. Blaney's still going to outscore him on points total today because of the stage points, but not by much considering Logano's going to finish 12 spots higher than him in the race itself. White flag for Denny Hamlin. Final lap at Road America. For him to get the win. Blaney just hoping he can hang on for 15th for 4 more miles. Gone was not for position. He was in 20th. Chase Elliott's in 16th right now. That's next car that Blaney's going to try to hold off is Elliott. Not sure exactly how far back he is. Knowing how slow Blaney is on that slow left front tire. We'll see if Chase can get there. Blaney terribly slow through turn 2. Yeah, Chase Elliott is coming. He's going to have a lot more speed down this long straightaway. Blaney's going to block for all attempts and purposes on Elliott for position. Should be alright through turns 5 and 6. Gonna go a bit wide. Logano will get around him there. Logano up off the curb. Gonna clear Blaney cleanly. Blaney coming in hot, trying to turn the car. Chase Elliott is coming in that 9 car. About 4 or 5 car lengths back. And he's trying to hang on. Using all the pavement. Stays out of the grass that time. Trying to get the car to turn. Bottom of the track at the carousel. Elliott around the top is going to get around him. There is no hope there. Elliott's going to make the pass for 16th. Blaney's trying to get it going. Steering hard to the right. Blaney back in 16th place. Not even going to get a top 15 anymore. Austin Dillon is in 17th further back, trying to run down the 12. Just a couple more quarters to go. Checkered flags in the air. Denny Hamlin has just won at Road America in the Jockey Made in America 250 today. I think Blaney's far enough ahead of Dillon. He should be able to finish 16th. Unbelievable turn of events. With 4 laps to go in turn 1, Blaney overcooks it. First time in that corner he had overcooked it all race. His trouble corner at times was turn 5. He went into the sand about 4 different times. But he was beached in turn 1 and couldn't get out of it for the longest time. And unfortunately he was not going to win today's race because of it. And that is a tough 16th place finish for Ryan Blaney. Despite probably leading the most laps today and scoring more stage points than anybody else. He'll finish a lap down. A lot of DNFs in this one. 10.7 seconds margin of victory for Denny Hamlin over Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in second. Stenhouse, great run for JTG Doherty Racing today. Joey Logano finishes in third. Daniel Suarez fourth. And Ryan Newman rounds out the top 5. Only 5 cars finished on the lead. Actually, some cars still finishing on the lead lap yet. William Byron finishes 6th. Kurt Busch came back to finish 7th. Cody Ware finished 8th. Josh Bilicki 9th. James Davison top 10. 3 Rick Ware cars had top 10 today on a full race at Road America. Kurt Busch, though, he did win stage 2. Fell back there late in stage 3 during the green flag stops. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he lost some time. Let's see. And obviously Ryan Blaney, who won stage 1 and finished 2nd in stage 2, finished 16th. That's unbelievable. I'm kicking myself over this one. That was tough. All the cars at DNF today, over half the field. Matt DiBenedetto, Chris Buescher, Cole Custer, Kaz Gralla, Tyler Reddick, Michael McDowell, Anthony Alfredo, Alex Bowman, Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Austin Cindric, Ross Chastain, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Corey LaJoie, Justin Haley, Eric Jones, Eric Almirola, Brendan Gaughan. Gaughan finished 7 laps down. So, half the field, 20 of the 40 cars that started this race today DNF'd. Some way, shape, or form. Denny Hamlin is the one that's going to survive and win this race. So I'm not going to be able to show you guys the point standings because I have to do the points myself on this season. So I'll take a picture of the race results here before we get out of the stream tonight. Not sure on exactly what the stream will be tomorrow on the channel. As far as what game, what race, it'll likely be NASCAR 06, and it'll probably be either the truck or the Busch series if I had to imagine, but I'm not entirely sure on which one. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I'll see you guys in the next race tomorrow night. Be sure to keep an eye out on the community tab to check out exactly what race will be tomorrow night, as well as the rest of the streaming schedule for the rest of the week. But I will see you guys tomorrow night nonetheless. Thanks for watching. Heartbreak for Ryan Blaney today at Road America. There's no fault of my own on that one. I mean, the caution should have came out when I was beached in the sand. But I could have, at least pitted, repaired. I wouldn't have been able to repair all the damage. But I could have repaired at least, some of the damage. And I would have finished. I mean, there were only seven cars? 7 cars that finished on the lead lap. So, I mean, if that caution would have came out for something like that happening, at least I could have finished 7th. Even if I had to limp around last car on the lead lap with the damage. I wouldn't have finished 16, so at least it would have saved the top 10. Either way, I would have lost. It was just... I don't know. I don't even know how I made that mistake. I was on fresh tires. And it wasn't like it was cold tires. I already ran a lap and a half. I don't know. I think I just made a mistake. It's kind of one of those 99 times out of 100. I make that corner perfectly fine. Never had an issue with it all race. And the one time I make a mistake in that corner happened to be when I was leading with a pretty big lead. Didn't think I pushed it too hard and just lost it. So thanks everybody for watching though. It was a fun race outside of the finish for myself, but I'm sure you guys enjoyed it throughout. Thank you for hitting that like button as well. 43 likes on tonight's stream. Again, I'll see you guys tomorrow night for more live race commentary and realistic commentary and NASCAR action once again.